Hi, I'm Jessie Tate, and writing is my life. I love creative writing assignments, essays, informative writing, you name it, and it will probably excite me. I've written and published my own book titled Dry Eyes Don't Cry. That writing process was very intense, and I did the best that I could. One regret that I had was that at the time of creation, I didn't know of a free editing tool that I could use to help me improve my work. So I did the next best thing, and I reached out to a group of peer editors to check over my work and lend suggestions. As everyone knows, in the writing process, there are times where we get stuck, and we can use immediate feedback or assistance from a reliable proofreader. And that's where this educational tool, Grammarly, comes in. Grammarly allows you to improve and edit your work and your assignments so that you'll be sounding like a pro. So, come journey with me and let's discover the world of Grammarly together. First, I think you'll need to access the website. It's www.grammarly.com. Again, www.grammarly.com. I'll meet you there. Step one is creating an account. It's a very easy process, but I will walk you through it. Start by entering your name, and again, we're at www.grammarly.com. Next, you'll want to enter your email address, and then create a password that you can easily remember. There's a What Best Describes You section. Most of us will probably put student native speaker. And it's as simple as that. Hit the sign up button and now you're in. The first screen shows you Welcome to Grammarly. You can continue along with the free account or you can upgrade and get the premium account. I've been very successful with the free account for well over a year, so we'll continue on. Grammarly offers you a walkthrough tutorial, but for the sake of this video, I'll be doing the tutorial today, so we can close that box. Once you've established your new account, familiarize yourself with the tabs on the left-hand side. The first tab is the My Grammarly. That's like your home page. On this page, you'll see every writing that you've ever uploaded and made edits to, and you can choose to delete them or to save them for future reference. The second tab down is the Profile tab. The first option is a personal dictionary where you can add words that traditionally don't appear. The next tab is the American/British. This is where you decide which form of English you typically write in. And the third tab is your account information. You can elect to delete, change your password, or update your email address. The third tab is your apps. I personally don't have Grammarly downloaded on any of my other devices, but the option is there. And the fourth tab is a tutorial. And it kind of walks you through the same process that I'm walking you through now. And finally, you can log out with the last tab. After you get to know the various functions, the third step is uploading or pasting your text into a new document. My favorite way to do it is to open a Microsoft Word document and simply copy and paste. Once you've copied it, you have the option to select New, and that's where you'll paste your new information. And if you prefer to upload, then you'll select this option down here. And we'll just paste it right there in the body. One unique thing about Grammarly is that not only does it show you where you've gotten errors or mistakes, but it gives you a score. Your score is down here at the bottom right. Our document is about a 27% accuracy. That's definitely failing. My goal when I write papers is to always be in the 90 to 100% margin so that I know I'm submitting my absolute best work. With Grammarly, it checks punctuation, wordiness, misspelled words, and a variety of other things. So let's see how we can edit and update this particular document. This is a college essay that needs revision. One significant experience I had when I camped out in the wilderness with my dad for 2 weeks last summer, automatically Grammarly recognizes there's a double word. If you bring your cursor over here and just lean over the word or hover over the word, it tells you that you can click it to remove the redundant word. So that's what we'll do. As we continue on, that was a bad and buggy experience, but I think I grew up on that trip. I had never camped before. Grammarly recognizes that there's a punctuation error. If you hover over the word before, it tells you click to add a comma. It's very easy to make corrections with Grammarly. Continuing on, it says, and now my father thought it would be good for us to bond away from civilization. We packed, and here the college student put a comma there, and it doesn't need to be. Again, if you hover, it says click to remove the comma. We packed and headed out. Oftentimes we end sentences with triple periods, but it's unnecessary. And Grammarly is so great that not only does it just say unnecessary ellipsis, but it also tells you why, and it gives you the correct way or the incorrect way to write it. So I'll close that out and I will make that correction. And let's see if a comma will work. We packed and headed out, but not for a campground with tents sites. Again, it recognizes the word campground and it says possibly miswritten word. So we'll click on that, and this is the correction it gives us. All we have to do is click on the green correction. With tent sites and shower rooms, we headed for the back regions of swamps and raspberry bushes, at least 1,000, spelled with 2 T's. So we'll click on their suggestion. And unfortunately, it didn't recognize 1,000 was capitalized. So there is still room for error. And we'll lowercase the T in the word 1,000. Miles from home and regular communication. No cell phones. Cell phones obviously is written incorrectly. Again, it gives us the incorrect and correct way to fix that. No television. Television obviously doesn't have a Z in it. And no electronics. The last sentence says, I was stuck in the middle of nowhere, and we even had to walk to the pond in order to set up our home away from home. So, I was stuck in the middle of nowhere. Oftentimes we write in passive voice. Sometimes Grammarly doesn't offer you the correction. You can choose to leave it that way, or you can try to rewrite that sentence. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, so I'll leave it. I was stuck in the middle of nowhere. Nowhere should have a comma. So we'll make that correction. And we even had to walk, and Grammarly recognized nowhere was written incorrectly as we continue to press on. So we'll look at its change and we'll make that adjustment. And we even had to walk to the pond in order to, that's to meaning also. And so we'll take the correction, set up our way home away from home. Now, as Grammarly continues to check our entire document, we've surprisingly gone from a 27% accuracy all the way up to a 97%. I think this paragraph sounds much better than it did when we started. Now, once you've interacted with the proofreading suggestions to improve your overall assignment, there is a tab on the left-hand side that offers you a way to interact with your assignment on a more personal level. Our document type is set up for general as the default, but if you're creating an academic paper, you can come down here, and if it's an essay, you can click on that. It will check to see if you followed the guidelines of academic essays. And as you can tell on the lower right-hand corner, our score has gone from a 97% to a 100%. If you're doing a dissertation for college, as many of us will be doing, you can climb all the way down here and click on the dissertation button. And again, it checks it to that level of accuracy. And again, we're at 100%. There might be people that are in the medical field, and so by selecting this option, Grammarly will also give you feedback for that style of writing as well. And again, it's at 100%. I would definitely suggest that you play around with some of the options on the side and get a better understanding. Learn how to turn contextual spelling on and off, grammar checking, punctuation, sentence structure, and style. There's so many different avenues and variables that you can enjoy with Grammarly. So I say, just go around and experiment. There's nothing that you can do wrong. Now, in order to save your final work, once you've gotten the score that you would like, the easiest option is to copy and paste all of your information and save it right back in a Word document. And now it's written with a little more cohesion. The sentences are flowing a little better, punctuation is correct, and spelling is correct. And then, of course, as we do with all of our Word documents, you will hit your Save button and you're finished. Grammarly is a tool that can be used in a variety of ways within the teaching environment. One example would be if students are proofreading their work or if they've been instructed to practice the skill of proofreading their classmates' work. Educators can rely on Grammarly when aiming to develop students' writing. Another example would be if a teacher is facilitating a lesson on punctuation. With this tool, they can easily access Grammarly's website on a smartboard and give their students a visual example of the appropriate corrections that need to be made. And lastly, Grammarly serves as a valuable tool that gives students tangible feedback. This style of teaching truly improves the learning process because it informs the students why a change needs to be made and even offers examples. As you've probably realized, Grammarly is an EdTech tool that is beneficial for both teachers and students. I hope that you've learned some useful information from my tutorial, and I wish you all the best in your future writing endeavors.